The fourth episode of Ms. Marvel has a lot happening in it, in terms of action and also in terms of big revelations that are going to be pretty significant in upcoming episodes and more than likely many parts of the MCU going forward. So let's talk about the Jinn, the dimension they come from, and of course a brand new faction that's been added to the MCU lore, which is the Red Daggers. So in this episode, Kamala goes to Pakistan, and this is where things automatically, right from the start to speed up a little bit, more so than I think many people were expecting. If you guys would like our full thoughts on this, the audio commentary for this episode we're gonna have a lot to talk about, let's just put it that way. But for right now, let's talk about what exactly Kamala gets herself into. And what she gets herself into, first up, is a pretty decent fight with a random person that shows up, throws a dagger at her, and we obviously learn that if you've seen the comics that this is somebody that's associated with the Red Daggers. Now, this group is rather important when it comes to this series, specifically how it ties to Kamala, because they take her to their base, they give her a piece of cloth that she's gonna eventually use to incorporate into her Ms. Marvel outfit. But on top of that, it's also pretty significant because they reveal to Kamala just who exactly she is. And yes, she is a Jinn, much like the other people from the dimension. They were telling the truth, except there's a twist. If they can get a hold of what Kamala has and complete their mission, the dimension they are from will leak into ours and fully take it over, transforming it into, well, just like their dimension. It causes the destruction of this reality and unleashes theirs on top of it. So the Red Daggers, and it sounds like other factions, have been trying to prevent this for, from what we know, at least 100 plus years, but probably a little bit longer. Now, this of course all ties in with the whole family heritage and roots and everything, and what we ended up learning was the fact that Kamala's great-grandmother was obviously very much connected to, well, various things that are going on right now. And again, they're still teasing a mystery reveal and who exactly the grandmother is. What exactly does her mom know specifically? And how does all this connect to what has been hidden from Kamala and the hints that her mom took her away from all of this before she really, had the chance to learn a little bit more about herself and everything else. So there's definitely this hint towards Kamala's mom just kind of being like, look, if you're trying to learn about this, I'm not going to let you. So that's why you're not allowed to really talk to your family or anything like that. And it's, it's a lot of good stuff going on in here that kind of, I think many people can relate to. So overall, there's a lot that just happens in this episode that builds up that final big scene. And that scene right here was really interesting to me because Kamala has effectively time traveled to the past, to the partition. And she now, well, she's going to be looking for, more than likely, a couple people here, but specifically her great-grandmother, because, again, that's important to the story and learning about who she is, about the history of the Jinn, and why exactly, she has these powers and what's her responsibility. Overall, a really good episode. A lot of things happen, a lot of revelations. Cannot wait for the next two. This series continues to surprise in the best way possible.